Hello and welcome to the Night Girls. This is episode 552. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is the 9th of November,
It is.
2021. Laura and I both use she, her pronouns.
We do.
It's been a long week.
It's a book fair week. Like, the book fair is always here for 2 weeks. And one of my children today told me I looked tired and that I should go home and take a nap because I deserve it because I work so hard in the book fair. And I appreciate that.
That's much better than, God, you look old today, Miss Lemon. Or...
I mean, no, I was very... And then did I nap? No, I did an Instagram Live instead.
Oh.
So, I played Animal Crossing.
I was like, I'm going to record tonight. I should probably nap.
Yeah, no. It's all good. Last night I fell asleep at like 10 o'clock on the dot. I missed the end of the Steelers game, but I was so tired, and I think that's going to be the same tonight. Like, I might actually go to bed at 9:30.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, if I nap, I'm usually up later.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that can be positive because usually I'll get some quilting or sewing or something done.
Once I nap, the rest of the night is like Animal Crossing and reading a book. There's very little movement from the bed at that point. But I also usually come home and immediately get into pajamas, and I didn't do that today.
To be fair, I live in pajamas.
Well,
so.
I'm very jealous of that.
I had to put on real human people clothes today because I went to the doctor for a nerve test for carpal tunnel.
Ooh, fun.
Super sexy. Very weird.
What did they do?
They put like the little detection pads, little sticky pads, on your hand and arm and elbow and stuff, and then they take this metal prod with a ball. It's like a smooth end, but they put it on your skin and they send a jolt of
and then do you say I can feel that?
No, your hand moves. You have no control over it. It's like a reflex thing. But it's testing the how quickly, I guess.
Yeah, the synapses do. Okay, cool.
And then after that, there was a test with a little needle.
Ooh. When will you find out the results?
They're sending them to my doctor. My
regular doctor?
The
GP?
Ortho.
Oh, you're ortho. Okay. We're of the age when we have multiple doctors.
Yep, I've hit that age.
Yay!
So yeah, it was funny because this doctor is I've had a lot of frustration lately with doctors' offices because I will go and then it'll be over an hour past my appointment time before I ever see the doctor, and I will have already explained why I'm there to at least 3 different people in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, not just because they're asking.
Just for funsies.
Right. But this was, they were great in this office because, I didn't wait more than 5 minutes anywhere. And
nice.
But the doctor is this, typical Southern old white guy. Comes in, makes conversation, doesn't really care about the response to the small talk, which is fine because it wasn't related to the problem. He comes over, doesn't really introduce himself, and just starts sticking me with a needle and my neck and my arm and my shoulder, and he's out of the door in 35 seconds.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? At least I'm not waiting forever. I'll take this.
Yep.
So anyway, now that you've heard about how I'm old and falling apart, what are you working on?
I'm working on my Halloween socks still. Look, I've made some progress though.
Oh yeah.
So I had training also this week. So while I've been watching my dyslexia training, I've been knitting. Ooh, and I feel like I should currently I should have started doing ribbing. So I'm going to rip back a little bit nope, I'm just going to go with it and do some ribbing.
I feel like you hadn't even started increasing for the heel yet.
No, I was maybe 1 repeat in. So yeah, I've gotten some good knitting time. On this, I also went to a soccer game because I try to go to at least if my kids have an event or any extracurricular, I try to go to at least one of their extracurriculars for that sport or activity. So I go to a band concert usually, I go to a choir concert, I go to soccer, basketball, volleyball, football, all all the things. So this was my soccer game last night. I made some really good progress there as well because it was very cold, and I wanted to be continually keep my hands moving. But because soccer is a fall sport here, this was like the second home game, and I was like, if it goes past this, it's going to get really cold. Because it was in the 50s last night. So not super cold, but cold enough when you're sitting on a metal bleacher.
Right, not moving.
That you definitely feel it. So, yeah, I might finish this tonight, and then I have some mustache yarn and her Hawaiian Volcanic Parks colorway that I got to knit my father some socks for Christmas out of. So then I got him the Hawaii one, and I got Mom the Alaska one, because those are the last 2 states that they had to go to, and now they've been to all 50 states, which is really cool.
Have they been to like a state park in all 50 states?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. That's
I'll
a good
ask
question.
them at Thanksgiving.
You should definitely ask them that. So, yeah, these are getting done, and then that will get started. And the other thing that I currently have on the needles, I still have some things that are in progress that haven't had progress made on them, like the sweater, because I'm still spinning yarn for that. But I started a hat for my friend Becca's little boy Nick. And so I tried to knit them a hat, like he and his brother, Ali, a hat every year. It's a recent development in the last couple of years. But, so this is Shipwrecked Sheep. Her sport weight base, I don't know that she's dying anymore.
Pearl hair?
I mean, pearl hair is, she's got
Integral.
to send it, to go see Hattie, Becca's puppy. So this is Shipwrecked Sheep sport weight in the Hatchling colorway. I'm knitting these on size 4 needles. The socks were being knit on size 0 needles, and they are Felici Spooky by Knit Pigs. But this is Shipwrecked Sheep. I don't think she's dying anymore, and it's a free hat pattern on Ravelry. I couldn't find it off Ravelry, unfortunately, called Free Breakfast. It is a very simple, like, broken rib pattern with a good bit of, 1x1 rib. So, yeah.
I like broken rib for a texture. It's a great, simple...
Yeah. Especially when it's high color change. I really like the colorway. It's living in a fat squirrel tattoo bag. Yeah, so I got that ribbing took me forever. But now that's done, it's moving pretty fast. I have to get to like 7 inches maybe, and then I can start the crown decreases.
Does this thing still say you cast on for the gnome cow all work and gnome play?
Yes, it does. I did cast on like a month ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're working on it.
No, I haven't worked on it. It's in like timeout, but I haven't updated it because it also says that I'm knitting on Beachcomb by Tiff Nealon, but I'm still spinning the little bit of extra that I need for that. So I did get through the first bobbin of that this week. I don't have any spinning or finished objects, so it's going to be the Leslie show for a while.
Wow, okay.
I was hoping to get the spooky socks done, but that didn't work because of reasons.
I mean, that's allowed.
Oh, and I busted the zipper. There we go. Just need to be a little gentle with it. But yeah, cool. Maybe I'll finish these socks while
I'm forced to talk for an hour.
While it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I am working on a couple of things this week. One of Michael's closest friend who moved to Vegas a few years back, he and his family are back now. And
they just moved back to the Memphis area.
And we went to see them this weekend.
Aww.
And see him working with the dogs, because he's doing some canine training, like on a wide scale, everything from like obedience up to like bite training. and it was interesting to see him do it, you know, in person, because he sent me videos and stuff. But he's thinking about opening a business just for the obedience side next year. So I wanted to take Kobe in case that's something he might like to do part-time or something. I don't know.
Or help out.
Yeah.
Him out, yeah.
So I got to see him, and he has 5 kids. 4 of them are 13 and under. 1 is 19. Well, she'll be 19 in August.
She's Kobe's
which
age.
was August, already passed. So she is 19.
Okay.
Sorry. Apparently I don't know what year I'm in or month I'm in.
Since 2019, I haven't known what year I'm in.
So, but the youngest is Grayson, who is 4, and he's a little bitty thing.
Aww.
And I like the little ones because they're much more free with, you know, their love. And he decided that he needed a red hat. So
why does he need a red hat?
Just because red's his favorite color.
Oh, okay.
He wants a hat.
Okay. I didn't know if like there was a Paddington LeBear or like.
His mom told him that I made stuff like hats and scarves and
Gotcha.
stuff. So he decided he needed a red hat. So I'm using some red that I got from Wool Bearers, which is a great yarn shop in Cherry Hill area of New Jersey. It's some of their shop branded worsted, and the color is just called red. It's just a superwash worsted. But I mean, I like it. I've knit with it before, not this specific color, and I'm knitting the Quin Hats.
I love the Quin Hat.
I've never actually
by
knit it
Woolly
before,
Wormhead. It's so good.
but I know you have.
Yeah.
And I like the way it looks. So
I think I have one on the needles right now. Actually,
I printed it and then left it on the printer. So anyway, it's a pretty simple looking hat. It's got wide band of like garter here, and it goes down over the ears and back up. And the way it's written, it's got a little point. I don't think I'm going to do the point. I think I'll just decrease more quickly when I get there so that it doesn't have the little point. But other than that,
less quickly. Points are like you would just stop the
yes,
decreases earlier.
You're right. You're right. I'll end it sooner. Yeah. So that it doesn't have that point. But aside from that, no mods. So all I had to do was memorize when I'm supposed to do increases and decreases.
Yeah.
And it's super simple. So I have to do this until it's, I think, 3 inches, 2.5 or 3 inches.
It creates these really cute ear flaps, but it doesn't use short rows.
Yeah. So
it uses increase and decrease points. So it's very, very
It's almost
clever.
like a chevron on the sides. So, yeah. Woolly Wormhead's brain is, I have no concept of how it works, but it's brilliant. So
yeah, she makes gorgeous hats.
Is that her pronoun? She?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
she is also neurodivergent.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense because her brain works in such a cool way when it comes to construction.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that I'm working on. The only other knitting, and I've got out more yarn to make other hats because they have 4 kids, so it would be sort of rude of me to make a hat for one kid and not the others. Plus, I like giving stuff away. It makes me happy.
No, and I think worsted hats are super fun. Obviously, I like knitting kids' hats. So
I pulled something out of the...
ooh, I remember those.
Of the bins. I was looking for something else and I came across this and I was like, what is... Oh! So, this is... a
mitten.
Mitten. It's a color work or Fair Isle mitten. It's called Winchester Plaid. This is in sort of a fan tribute to Supernatural.
Yep.
And which I think had its last season or is on its last season.
Last season was last year.
I don't know.
It ran for a number of years.
I think I was there until season 7 or 8 and then...
I think it went to like 15 maybe?
Yeah.
No, I have to look.
I mean, that might be a good thing to like put on in the background as I'm crafting or something.
Let's see. Yeah.
But yeah, so these are really long mitts. I just have to do the thumb. I haven't actually worked on them. I just pulled them out so that I could work on them. So this mitt the thumb, still needs to be done, and then the other was just cast on.
It ran from 2005 to 2020.
So 15 years. Who knows how many seasons.
That's a good run.
Yeah.
I would assume 15.
Oh gosh, this has been a while because I'm using 2 separate needles, which is
327 episodes, 15 seasons. Oh. Yep. It's a long time.
Yeah, some of the episodes were just flat out ridiculous. But, I mean, usually there's still funny moments in them.
Well, it's like Murder, She Wrote in the later seasons where Jessica's not even in it. She's, like, narrating.
Did you know... Hold that thought.
Okay.
So, this is the second one. Again, I haven't actually knit on any of these, but I pulled them out so that I can work on them, because this is another way for me to delay casting on something new.
Is
finding old things that need to be finished.
I wonder if your gauge has changed at all.
I don't know. We'll see.
You might be going down or up a needle size.
But I still have the pattern, thank goodness. Did I make any notes or anything?
No, but you can probably... Oh, you've got Post-it notes,
Post-its.
though.
Yeah, they're definitely not on the right row, but they've fallen off. But that's okay. I can count and figure out where I'm at, because it's very, very early in the thing. So, on the Murder, She Wrote front, did you know Angela Lansbury wrote a diet book in the late 80s, early 90s?
I did not know that.
So, it was just featured. They did an episode on it for Maintenance Phase podcast with Aubrey Gordon and Michael... something. I forget. Hobbs. And apparently, so Aubrey Gordon is colloquially known as your fat friend. That's what she writes as on the internet. And so she has this massive collection of diet books that she uses for her research that she writes about nutrition and all that. And apparently Angela Lansbury's is the least offensive in the whole collection because it's the most realistic. And there was apparently a VHS that went along with it. But like her diet was just simple stuff. It was like eat lots of vegetables, you know, don't eat as much, you know, a ton of like fatty meats, like have fruit and cottage cheese. And then her VHS was all about like her exercise, which she just called like something movement. I can't remember what it was, but it's just her just
being
floating around. Like apparently there's a part where she's like in a towel and like rubbing lotion on her skin, and she's just like, you know, check out your body, make sure that, you know, everything looks the same.
She would have been like in her 60s or 70s at that point.
She was in her, I think it was late 50s, early 60s, at that point. And they just talked about how like charming it was. And how refreshing.
She just turned like 97. Like a couple weeks ago.
They were just sort of enamored with it. And I thought, it's really nice that like Angela Lansbury isn't ruined, you know.
She's a wonderful human being.
But yeah, so that's the knitting. So I have made progress on my reverse applique dress.
Yes, I know you have because I saw it at my house.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since then because...
Do you need a hand?
No, I just need to figure out where the top is. Here it is. All right. And I had a couple questions on it that I'll try to answer. So this is the dress. You can now see I've taken thread and outlined the octopus. It looks kind of wrinkled. I shoved it in the bag. So you can see all these little bits between like tentacles and stuff like that. So somebody asked me, wouldn't it be simpler to cut out the pattern on the top layer and then sew it down? And if it wasn't a real intricate one, probably. If it was just like a hard or, you know, some solid piece, it probably would be fine. But because this one's got like all sorts of like thick and thin parts because of the tentacles of the octopus, it would be near impossible to do that neatly. So that's why, at least in this case, it makes sense to sew around the edges and then you can cut, you know, real close to the thread so that then you'll see the pattern underneath. So the only thing that's left on this one is I've got a bunch of loose threads I need to clean up. And then I need to have a quiet space and a flat table and carefully trim out all the edges. And then I'll finish the bottom because there was a part here that these pockets that I didn't finish because there was a tentacle that went sort of through a part of it. So I left that part unfinished so that I could do the tentacle underneath and sew it on.
Is the bottom hem done?
No, I mean I serged it. I've got to like just tuck it under and make it look nice, but
gotcha.
So I mean, aside from the cutting out the top layer, I've got maybe an hour's work, on the machine.
That's super cute.
And then this will be something I can wear. It's probably too heavy to wear in the summer, but probably every other season it would be fine.
Yeah.
And it's only heavy because there's 2 layers of the jersey, so that the pattern shows underneath. So yeah, there's that.
It's coming out well, friend.
I'm still working on my Yanta overalls. They're not in really a good position to show you, so they'll wait. You didn't finish anything, so I still have to keep talking. Okay, so I finished my flax light.
Look at how cute!
So this is going to a friend of mine for her little girl.
I think we need to show it up close because I think the camera's kind of washing it out. There you go.
So
look at those pops of color.
This is flax light, sort of with an asterisk on it, because I wasn't paying attention when I was doing the sleeves, and instead of just having a garter panel along the top edge, I ended up doing the whole sleeves in garter, and that's fine. I mean, I think it looks perfectly fine. It's a sweater with garter sleeves. So the yarn is by a dyer who apparently isn't dyeing anymore, Twisted Fiber Arts. Ashley was her name.
It still is her name. She's just not
yes, you're right.
yarn.
She didn't disappear off the face of the earth, and she was a lovely human being. So, and
I'm sure she still is.
I'm sure she still is. I don't know why a past tense is
you're
like
past sensing people that are still alive.
Yeah. Right. Our thoughts and prayers are with her.
Stop.
Yeah. So this is done.
This is how rumors get spread.
Ashley is a lovely human being. She's still alive and kicking. She's just not dying anymore. I presume. Yeah, so that's done, and that's I'm gonna make something for the older child in the family, and then send them together. So.
Well, I have some things to send as well.
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
We will save on that postage. As much as we can, because postage to Canada is crazy expensive.
Postage anywhere is crazy.
It's excessively expensive.
I was so excited. I had to go to the post office today to get stamps because I had run out. And they sell Ursula K. Le Guin stamps now. But they didn't have any of the thing.
Which post office did
the
you go
South
to?
Haven one, because that's near where my doctor was.
Oh. I can check Nesbit for you. Also, you can order stamps online.
I know, but I was right there. So I was like, I'll just go on the way, But they didn't have it, so I had to just get some boring flower ones.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Anyway.
I feel for you and your stamp pain.
You don't have any spinning.
Nope.
Okay. So the last thing, and actually this is good because I can ask you guys your thoughts. I knocked that off.
I did use spinning. So on my, I'm going to say this.
Please.
So I've been working on, we're doing like a processing month.
Mm-hmm.
And so every day for the last 9 days, I have been doing 15 minutes of processing a day. And I am doing lives every weekday on Instagram. I handle there as Lala Knits. And you can watch me do things. Like today I was spinning long draw on a bat, a CVM bat that I made on the first day. So the first day I made bats out of CVM. The second day I have like five fleeces that I'm working on. So
not at every point of the...
Not a lot's getting done. 15 minutes worth is getting done. So I combed fiber. I showed off some new combs when I got them. From Lonnie Combs. I flicked fiber yesterday and tore open my finger on air because that's what you do when you flick fiber. I spun and sampled and talked about that. So it's just been lots of fun. And if you're interested in the process of processing a fleece, that is 5 different fleeces.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I found a bag of fleece. I found Shetland that I had like half spun. Yeah. On the Lendrum upright, and found like 4 bobbins in the bag as well. So my goal for the whole month is to finish up the CVM spin. I think that's very doable. I only have like a pound left to spin. and of that pound, only like 8 ounces still needs to be processed, and that's on the electric drum carder. So I think and everything's washed, and a lot of the locks have already been opened. So
that seems like a
that's
possible
very doable.
Mama Linneman assistance thing.
Oh no, I'm hoping to get it done before the parents come, if they hopefully they end up coming. Their plans are still up in the air, but yeah, because I have home jobs that I would like for them to accomplish. My ceiling fan stopped working in my house. The fan part, not the light part, but it needs to be replaced before the spring. And I don't know that I'll see them again before the spring because they have lots of things that they want to do.
They're very busy people.
They are very busy people. So, yeah. We will see what happens. And I want them to, like, enjoy their time, too, and if they do end up coming, we'll play lots of board games, and Kobe can come over and play board.
They like being busy, though.
Yes.
They don't like sitting around watching TV. Like, they're...
Yeah. So we can play some board games and do some things.
Can we play Wolf?
Yes. We can play Wolf. 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 Okay, how do y'all say the word W-O-L-F? I say it Wolf, and Leslie says it...
Wolf. Like, it's just the way that you say it with your slight sort of Northern plus Dixie accent turns it into, it sounds more like what a dog says, woof, rather than W-O-L-F. Mm-hmm. It's just a weird idiosyncrasy of the way you speak. It's you're not doing anything wrong. I'm just being an asshole.
Surprise face!
Yeah. Okay, so... The last craft-related thing I have is I'm working on a new quilt. So, shocker, in a move that will shock no one. The quilting that I showed you guys all the blocks for last week. Thank you for your very kind comments. Shockingly, they did not come out to size because...
This is something, if Mama Linneman comes, that you can have her
help. I know exactly what went wrong. It's not necessarily an education thing. It's a patience thing.
But she can fix.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of things.
So it has to do with how precise you are when you're cutting, how precise you are when you're sewing, when you're pressing.
Some of those were pre-cut.
You can't stretch.
Yeah.
Like you need to press, not stretch. So, out of 25 of them, 3 of them were to size, and those were the ones I did last.
I mean, it's a learning experience as you go through.
I mean, they're fixable because I've got extra yardage so that I can take borders off of some where the borders were 3 inches on this one and move it to one that only needed a 2-inch border and then trim it out to size. So it can be fixed. It's just a tedious process.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it. So
I know someone who loves helping with tedious processes though, and that is my mother.
So before Craftsy went out of business and became Blueprint and then went back into business and became Craftsy again. I don't understand that, but whatever. The first time before Craftsy became Blueprint, they used to sell like quilt kits and stuff. I don't know if they still do or not, but
I think they do. I don't know.
When they were going out of business, a lot of their stuff was marked down significantly, so there were several quilt kits that I bought off of them, and this is one of them. It's the Axis Pop Art Quilt Kit.
Pretty.
And it had 3 different options. This is the color selection that I chose, which is the Pop Art.
I like that second one.
Yeah, this is another one. This is
like a mint.
Mod. And then...
Been all about that mint lately.
This is another one. This is the Landscape.
That's pretty too.
So
all 3
they were all good
options. Yeah.
I have no idea who this quilt is going to be for. I just wanted to work on something. The thing is, there are 2 different types of quilt, a narrow and a fat, and that's just based on where the pieces line up. And then there are 25 different designs. No, not 25. Sorry, there are... It's like 20 different designs.
And
some of them you do 2
blocks?
times,
Gotcha.
some of them you do 3 times, some of them you do 1 time, some of them you do 4 times. Well, not designs, color combinations. The designs themselves,
It's
there's
the same.
only the 2.
Okay.
So, there's a layout, and so I counted. I do 2 of these, I do 3 of these, I do 1 of those, etc. So my question to you guys is, when you have a quilt like this, where it's not always the same pieces that go together to make the quilt, or to make the block, how do you organize it? Do you, as you do each quilt, or as you do each block, do you pull out the pieces you need for that block and then just work 1 block at a time? Or do you sort it all at the beginning? And if you do you just use like sandwich bags or paper bags or something? Like, how do you sort it? And what are your tips and tricks and things to avoid? I would like to know. I did email our friend Barb, who is a brilliant quilter as well.
Yes, I think her contact information, is at the bottom.
It's still in our show notes. Our show notes are at www.TheKnitGirlls with 3 L's.com.
She does long arm services if you are interested in.
She also does like quilts to order.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
Yep. And her output is friggin' amazing. I have no idea how she gets done what she gets done. But so I did 1 block just to sort of see how I liked it. And so this is the first block. It came out to size. Like,
super cute.
I even was a tiny bit big on a couple of corners, so I trimmed it out, and it's exactly 10 by 10. So this is block number 1 of 49. Kobe came in here.
Interesting number.
And because, like I said, if I nap, then I'll get stuff done up here in the evening. So he'll come up here and sit with me while I'm like cutting the fabric
when
and
he
sewing.
gets off work or whatever.
Yeah. And he was like, "How long has it taken you to make that 1 block?" And I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. But I had to cut fabric. I had to iron everything.
Driven. 3 or 4 days is not metric driven.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. He was like, "So it's going to take you 10 years to make that quilt?" Probably. I mean,
are you in a hurry, boy?
Yeah. Like, I never said it was for you.
Yep.
So, yeah, I enjoy the process, and now that I'm more mindful and go slower, it tends to work out better. So, also another question for quilters, I've seen it done both ways. When you're making a quilt, like the blocks on the back side, I know you don't want them all to go like against each other, so you want them to oppose, like the when you press the edges down. So like this one goes this way and this one goes the other way. Does it? Yes, it does. Is the best practice to sort of nestle them like that, or should they be pressed open? And what's the benefit and drawback of each way? Like pressing them open takes longer, and I feel like it might distort the fabric too. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. So you can put the YouTube comments or on Ravelry or Discord. Yeah, but I text her for lots of stuff, and I always feel bad if I'm like,
you're not
just bothering the crap
her.
out of her.
No, you're not bothering her at all. It is a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Well, it's not in Pittsburgh. It's wherever they're playing, but
yeah.
She enjoys it when people text. Now, it might take her 6 days to get back
to you. This
is
true. Sometimes I get an immediate response, and sometimes it's like days, and I'll be like, why is Nikki texting? Oh, I asked her a question. So, yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool.
What have you been reading? I saw Alana Andrews has a new book out.
Yeah, it's not out though yet, is it?
Today's Tuesday, right? Isn't that when new books come out?
Usually. So actually, I didn't see it in my Kindle. I had pre-ordered it. I thought it came out on like the 18th.
It just came up in my Goodreads thing, so maybe it isn't out. Maybe it's like an upcoming.
It's the new Kinsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea. I'll have to look. I just finished around 15 minutes before I arrived at your house the last Ordinary Magic book. So that's by Devin Monk. Yeah. It's a male, female. There's 3 different sisters, but it's all male, female. It's paranormal, romance. The basic premise are it's this small town in Oregon, and gods can go there to go on vacation, but they have to leave their god powers behind when they do that. And shenanigans occur, and sometimes demons are involved. The last one has a ghoul.
It's typically Greek or Roman gods.
Yeah, it's every.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I think a Hindu god is setting up a tea shop right now.
Okay. I know that, like, at one...
There's also Norse.
And there's vampires.
There are vampires and werewolves and ghouls.
Okay.
And demons.
So it's just sort of a supernatural hideaway.
Yeah, kind of. There's a Valkyrie. There's there's merfolk, there's lots of different things, sirens. But yeah. So I'm caught up with that series. If the new Alana Andrews came out, I will read that tonight. We'll see. It is a hockey night in Pittsburgh, but I purchased ESPN Plus so that I can watch it when I feel like it, versus being tied to specific times on TV. Because I don't have cable. That's a
worthwhile expense if it's...
Yeah, it's like $6 a month. Yeah. So it's... And hockey season does not last for forever, so it'll be fun.
Even though it seems like it does.
I love it. There's 3 games this week. So you'll see my productivity also go up because it's not only football season, it's when football season and hockey season overlap for a bit. So I do tend to get some stuff done. Mm-hmm. Animal Crossing had an update, so I have been playing on that. I went to the guy's island and paid for a booth so I can, I don't know, have chickens and, I don't know, you can cook now on it.
Yeah, so, that's more stuff I don't do in my real house. So,
and it's mushroom season. So there are still roaches in my Animal Crossing house.
Oh, because you left it alone.
Because if you don't play for 6 months, you get little roaches. Which is awesome because one of the new features is villagers will come visit you in your house.
Oh, so it keeps it sort of active.
But they won't come in your house if you have roaches, which I'm fair. Like, awesome. And Animal Crossing is a game for the Nintendo Switch, although there is like a Pocket Mobile version of an older version as well. It's just a fun...
insanely popular last year because it hit right at the beginning of the pandemic lockdown. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a nice little happy game. Like, you fish, you do
it's
things
a good
to earn
time
fake
killer.
money.
Yeah.
Like, I spend around 30 minutes on it a day, and it gets my brain just chillaxed, and it's good self-care for me. Because nothing terrible happens, and I can control the narrative. So...
I went from being in pattern to just knitting.
Oh, I've done that many a time. But yeah, oh, and I read the new Sam Burns, or a newish Sam Burns, about a cat. She had a series that was fairy tale based, and I just found that, and there's a cat, spoiler, that was a magician, and got turned into a cat, and then, like, lost his memory of being a human, and then a 19-year-old kid is raising him, and there's shenanigans, and, yeah, all that jazz. It was good. It was cute. Short story-ish. So yeah, that's what has been taking up my reading / gaming time. What have you been reading?
Well, I just finished the Sam Burns Fantastic Fluke series.
It's a good one.
I didn't look, but it definitely feels like it's set up for a spin-off with the rich brother or cousin Freddie.
Yes, I feel like that's probably accurate.
So, which is fine. He's funny, so I don't have any problem with that. And I started I'm reading a couple of samples to figure out what I want to read next. One is sort of Elder Gods, Eldritch, called The Croning. And I forget what the other one was. It was late last night before I got to it. So
Jude and I were talking about, is it too early for Christmas romance? And we both agreed it's not.
I mean, I didn't realize that there was a time.
No, I read Christmas romance year-round.
Yeah, so...
I feel like you can watch Christmas Hallmark movies year-round.
Probably.
So why not?
I mean, I'm not big into Christmas. It's not really my thing. But if it makes other people happy, then I don't see a reason not to. So... 4, 5. All right, I'm gonna put this down before
Christmas makes Jude extremely happy.
That's true. So
with their box of socks.
Yeah, he's very close to getting it full, isn't he?
I think his is full.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was close, but I didn't know if he'd filled it. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I don't think I have anything else, honestly. I'm re-listening. I've listened to every maintenance phase podcasts there is. There's not a ton. They've only been on the air for about a year, so and they only podcast twice a month.
Only.
Yeah, it makes it sound like I'm a little bit of a stalker, which I can be about podcasts that I like. So, yeah. So that's all I've got.
Is there a My Dad Wrote a Porno Christmas special this year?
I don't know. I don't know if they've announced whether or not there is. There has been every year for the past
couple years.
5.
Yeah.
And last year it was a 2-parter because it was so long.
So it's A Wonderful Life-ish.
Yeah, it's a blatant ripoff. Homage, I mean. I don't know. It would be nice if there was, but...
I love how different my ribbing's gonna be.
You could just make that ribbing longer. I mean, it'll be slightly longer on your leg, but it's not like your legs know the difference.
No, I don't care how... They're already mismatched, so it doesn't really matter. That's why they're not correct, is because mismatching. It'll be fun. I'm just ready. I'm ready to be done with them. So I'm okay if one... I mean, it's a substantial ribbing regardless. Mm-hmm. So I'll go to the color change and then bind off. As you do.
So that's it. That's all I got. I don't have anything interesting. Hopefully my reverse applique dress will be finished next week. I look forward to your tips and tricks about quilt block piece organization and seam management.
Hopefully the sock will be done tonight.
I feel like it will be tonight at some, so long as you don't go straight to bed.
And hopefully my sweater spin will get done. One of the sweater spins will get done this week.
Well, the one that you need to finish the sweater that's already in progress.
I would like that, yeah. That would be good.
I think I got a little overzealous with the air conditioning.
I think so too.
It is blowing rather cold. We got up here and it was like, I mean, the heater wasn't on because it was already at like 75 degrees, and it's not set to go on unless it goes below 70, but it was still hot. It's just the heat had risen.
I think it's interesting that you're always warm and yours is set to go on at 70. Mine's set to go on at 60.
Well, that's upstairs.
Okay.
It is. Which really it should be lower because it almost never gets that cold up here.
Yeah. Because your heat rises.
Yeah. But, yeah, anyway. You guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.